Hey there, happy last week of school. Today we're doing all fun things ocean and I have an ocean snack for you. It's gonna take a little bit to set in the fridge, so it's probably gonna be the perfect dessert for dinner tonight or tomorrow, okay? So here's the supplies that you're gonna need, and you do need a grown-up or someone like a sibling if you have a brother or sister in high school or older, someone who can help you use the stove or the microwave because we need hot water today, okay? It's also kind of messy because it's blue, so make sure you get someone to help you, okay? All right, Mrs. Whisk grabbed a box of blue Jello, and there's some directions on the side, and I use my super reading powers. And you can use yours with the help of a grown-up. It says we need 1 cup of boiling water, that means hot water, and 1 cup of cold water. So, here's my measuring cup. And on the side, it tells me how much I'm putting in, and I only need it all the way up here to the top. 1 cup, okay? So I'm gonna put some water in it carefully. I'm gonna stop when it gets to the red line. I grabbed a pot for the stove. You can also do this in the microwave, but again, make sure you have a grown-up help you with this part. Put 1 cup of water in, and I'm gonna turn the stove on so the water starts to boil. When it boils, you're gonna see lots of bubbles, and you don't wanna touch it because it's very hot. So at this point, I want you to stand by your grown-up, probably not next to the stove because it's gonna get really hot, okay? Once it starts to boil, we're gonna add in the gelatin. So I'm gonna open it up just so we can get ready. Hopefully it boils pretty quick. I'm gonna keep the directions though, just in case. I will need a big spoon to stir. I'm gonna put that over here. Then I'm also gonna get some cold water. I'm gonna let the water run a little bit so it gets nice and cold. I'm going to put another cup of water in. So again, I filled it up to the top line where it says 1 cup. I'm going to set that next to my big bowl. I grabbed a glass bowl. If you don't have a glass bowl, that's okay. But I grabbed a see-through one so that we can see the ocean and the fish. So it looks like a fish bowl or like a fish tank when we're all done, okay? Water's getting hot. Hopefully it boils here quickly. While I'm waiting, I'm also going to open up my Swedish fish. Have you ever had Swedish fish before? I love Swedish fish. I got the all red ones. My box can be recycled because it's cardboard. We learned about that, remember, during Earth Week. We can recycle cardstock. So I'm going to have to take that outside. I have a kitchen scissors so I can open up the bag so it's ready to pour in. Okay, I can see steam is coming off of my pot. Remember, we learned about this in science. We learned about matter. So the water's liquid and now it's turning into a vapor or a gas, right? And then pretty soon we're gonna see bubbles in there. I see little tiny ones. Pretty soon there'll be big bubbles, and then we can mix in our Jello. I'm gonna open up the packet, but be very careful because it's blue and very messy. This might be a good part for the grown-up to do. Okay. I hope that you help measure the water, and maybe your grown-up will let you help stir. And the best part is you get to add the fish in, right? All right, I see bubbles. I grab my spoon because you have to stir really well. On the box, let's see how long it says to stir for. It says stir in cold water, or stir for 2 minutes until completely dissolved, then stir in cold water. So we're gonna stir it for 2 minutes. Oh, look at all those bubbles. We're ready. Okay, we're gonna carefully dump in the gelatin. Oh, look, it's blue. Smells like blue raspberry. Good idea. Mr. Quist is setting the timer for us so we know how long to stir. I'm gonna turn the stove off. You gotta stir carefully. You don't want it to splash because it's blue and it will get all over your kitchen. So be very careful. It's a powder, and now it's dissolving into the water, and so it was a solid and now it's turning into a liquid. Do you remember when we learned about all this and we did those matter stations? Remember, we painted with watercolors, we made root beer floats, we played with Legos. Remember Remember that day? That was a really great day. I'm so glad I got to spend it with you. All right, look at it says 1 minute and 20 seconds left. Wow. Hopefully you get this job, but be very careful because the water is super hot, okay? Your family's gonna love this dessert tonight for dinner. You can tell them all the fun things you did for Ocean today, and then you can eat up your Ocean Jello, and maybe you'll even get a Swedish fish in your scoop of Jello. That would be delicious, right? Should you eat the Jello first, or should you save dessert for last? Save it for last, right? We talked about that in the lunchroom on Tuesdays when we get desserts. We like to eat them last, right? We save dessert for last because it's usually not very healthy. Jello's not very healthy. It's mostly sugar. All right, we've got 30 seconds left. I'm stirring it in different directions to make sure it gets mixed very well. Can you count down with me? 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All done. That's a good thing to practice this summer is counting backwards. All right, a grown-up has to do this part. They're gonna take the hot water and they're gonna carefully pour it into the bowl. I'm gonna put mine in the sink. And then you have to add in the cold water. You could do that part, as long as you pour carefully so it doesn't splatter. Stir it up so it mixes together. All right, so Mrs. Quist, when I make my blue Jello, the last time I made it, I set a timer and I waited 90 minutes before I put my Swedish fish in because I wanted them to float in the Jello. But guess what? It didn't really work. They just sank to the bottom anyhow, so I'm gonna tell you to just carefully put your Swedish fish in right away. So you can put them all in or you can just put a couple in. I'm gonna put 3 in mine. 1 for Mrs. Quist, 1 for Mr. Quist, and 1 for Jamar. Maybe you can put 1 for each person in your family, or you can put the whole bag in. But I want 1 to eat because I love Swedish fish. The last thing is you're grown up, or you can carefully carry your Jello. It has to go in the refrigerator to cool. And then you can set a timer on your cell phone or stove. It needs to cool for 4 hours, and then it's ready to eat. Mrs. Quist made one earlier today. Look at, now it's fogging up because it's warm in my house. But look at, you can see all the Swedish fish in my blue Jello. I can't wait to eat it. It's gonna be great for dessert. Thanks for cooking with Mrs. Quist. See you later.